Has a home field advantage, and as always, brought to you by the Bank of Billings. Bank of Billings in Billings, Missouri. Bank of Billings established 1889, the oldest bank in Christian County. Also presented by Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks, Bambino's Cafe, Great Southern Bank with more than 100 locations in 6 states. Great Southern Bank, understanding what really matters. Member FDIC. We go north to Higbee High School, home of the Tigers, and head coach Tanner Burton. And Coach Burton, thanks for your time today.
Hey, thanks for having us on. I know it's been quite the obstacles in the way to get us on, so I appreciate you sticking with us and getting us on here.
Hey, no worries at all. No worries at all. Always glad to do it. First off, should make everyone aware that Coach Burton coaches the head coach for both boys and girls basketball. So we'll start off. We'll talk a little girls basketball with Coach Burton. A 9-2, kind of on the season. A great start. Tell us a little bit about the Lady Tigers.
Yeah, I mean, we've had a really good start to the season. We've had some really good challenges early. We kind of stacked up our schedule to make sure, we were ready for the postseason. We've had some success in the recent years, and so it was important to us to be prepared, and we've done that. We got a battle against Meadville, who's won like 45 games in a row in Class 1, defending state champions, game, I think, 4 of the season. And we've played up a couple times playing Class 3 Father Tolton, and we beat Class 3 Lamar by 20 and the holiday hoops in Kansas City. And, we beat a good Santa Fe squad that was Class 1 quarterfinalists a year ago by 20 at the Christian College here in Moberly. So, we've started off strong, and we've had some good success, and got one of the deepest teams we've ever had here. And honestly, probably one of the most talented teams we've had here in my tenure anyway.
Hey, you talk about that depth. What did you have to replace from last year due to graduation?
Yeah, we had 2 seniors last year. Both were role players, and both did a great job for us. But we had some freshmen come up. Half our squad, we've got 14 kids, 7 of them are freshmen. And so they've had a lot of success in junior high ranks. And a lot of these kids that are now seniors had a lot of success in junior high as well. And so it's kind of just translated that success has bred more success. And it's a competitive environment every day. We've got about 8 girls that play on a nightly basis, and they're really competitive. And so it just makes us a lot stronger. You don't have to worry about being in foul trouble when you got 8 kids that can shoot and play defense. And that's what we need. And that's what's led to our success this year.
Yeah, as you talk about, not a lot of folks are familiar with where Higbee's located. So you might kind of tell the folks, kind of just the general, and I'm geographically challenged, sure. But, and maybe handicap your conference a little bit if you're a member of a conference.
Yeah, sure. We're about 25, 30 minutes northwest of Columbia and about 15 minutes southwest of Moberly. And so, that puts us kind of on the far eastern side of the CLA conference. That conference extends all the way over to Breckenridge, Hardin, southwest Ludlow. So we go, 2 hours west, almost, that Kansas City area. And, our conference as a whole, us and Bramer were new additions a couple of years ago. And so we've been pretty competitive in there. The girls finished second in the conference last year and second in the conference tournament. And so they're looking to kind of get ahead on that one. Brunswick and Bramer will be our top competition. Brunswick's got a young lady back, Caden Smyer, that didn't play the first game when we beat them by 30. And so, that'll be a challenge when they have her back against us. But we're excited about having some competition in the conference and kind of seeing how we can go.
We've got one member of the girls team there behind you, Allie Mitchell. Tell us a little bit about Allie and what she does for the team.
Yeah, so Allie's a senior for us. She's kind of an anchor for us. Her and Isabel Welch have been 2 just really dynamic seniors that have grown a lot throughout their time in the program. And I've been fortunate enough to coach Allie for, I think this is year 6. So whether that's good or bad for her, she could be the one to answer that. But she's just kind of been the kid that in tough times, she keeps us level-headed, I guess, is the best way to put it. So when we're playing Tolton, when we're playing Lamar, we're playing these bigger schools, she just kind of has that confidence that she can go out there and be a senior and kind of keep the calm and step up in big games. And so when you have a kid that's got that confidence and her skill set to step up in the big-time moments, that's really good when you've got, some younger kids that are kind of looking for somebody to kind of be their safety net, if you will.
Allie, how are you today?
Good.
Tell us a little bit about, now you're a senior, tell us a bit about the position you play and what you feel your roles and responsibilities are on the team.
I'm a guard, and I feel my role the most is to make sure everyone around me is doing what they're supposed to do, and during games make sure everyone's not getting mouthy or anything, and keep everyone's confidence up if they're down.
Coming into this season, a lot of folks, including me, will look at schedules and you'll look at different games you want to be at and things like that. As coming into your senior year, do you look at your own schedule and maybe make a mental check mark or a star by certain games that you look forward to playing? I mean, do you have rivalry games? Were there games coming into this year that you were really looking forward to?
Yeah, there is some games we stepped up our schedule, so we've never played bigger schools like we are now. So that was kind of a shock because we're used to playing smaller schools in the same school. So when we saw we were playing teams we've never seen before, it was kind of scary, but it's worked out so far.
What do you do to kind of get prepared for a game? Let's say, for example, you're playing tonight. What are you doing? I mean, what do you food-wise? I mean, what are you doing physically, mentally to get prepared? Food, music? Do you have any superstitions?
No, not really. I just make sure I'm not laying around all day, drink plenty of water, get here when I'm supposed to, warm up, just the basics.
Being a senior, are there points, in your past, going back to your freshman, sophomore, junior year, are there games that really stand out to you that were a lot of fun? I mean, what were some of those enjoyable moments that you've had? And I know you've still got half of the season left of your senior year, but what games really kind of stand out to you?
We played, what was it, Marion County? And we won that game, ended up, and we didn't think we were going to win when we first went in. It was kind of a shock to everyone. I mean, we always go in to play, but everyone watching didn't think we were going to win, and then we did win, and it was a really big win, and it was exciting for everyone on the team.
Outstanding. Well, Allie, congratulations on a tremendous start here to the season, and thanks for being part of the show today on the Missouri Sports Network.
Thank you.
And now the boys basketball, who is also Coach Burton. Tell us a little bit about, on the boys side. As you look at this season, you're off to a 10-1 start. Only loss was to Brunswick in the Minden Tournament Championship, but a tremendous start.
Yeah, ultimately, I mean, kind of the same premise there. We wanted to make sure we amped up our schedule. And so, I made phone calls. I think I contacted anybody that finished in the top, like 4 in the state. I contacted them to see if I could get a game scheduled with them, and things didn't work out for everybody. But we ended up getting a game with St. Elizabeth, who we've become pretty well acquainted with. These young men lost to them. We lost to them their freshman year in the Final Four to place 4th. And then we played them at neutral sites their sophomore year, and now their senior year. We played them at MACC, and we played them at the Rammy Shootout their sophomore year. And so we've been fortunate enough to win those rematches, if you will. And St. Elizabeth's a quality team. We got the experience to take these young men to Mizzou Arena this year and play North Shelby there, which was a great experience on the biggest stage there is in basketball anyway. And it's where the Final Four is going to be held this year. And we went to Kansas City and played up a couple classes with Lathrop. It's just one of those things that we've tried to find ways to make sure we're being pushed. We're playing Milan and the Rammy Shootout this year. We're currently in talks with some Class 3 and 4 schools to see if we can get a game aligned for the remainder of the season because these young men need to be pushed. You speak on the loss to Brunswick. Brunswick's a quality team, probably one of the top teams in our conference. Anytime you give up 36 points in a quarter, there's 2 things that are going right. 1, offensively, you can't miss, and 2, defensively, you can't get a stop. And so when those things happen, I would say in 11 years of coaching, that's the most points I've ever given up in a quarter. And so it's one of those things that it happens, but it can't ever happen again.
You've got Northwest Menden. Now that's scheduled for tomorrow. Have you moved that game yet?
Not yet. We're in talks that it's potential to be moved to next Thursday, but I think we're going to wait until the night wraps up to see what's in store.
We've got 2 young men beside you there that are key to your success on the boys' side. Talk a little bit about Jackson and what he does.
Well, you look at Jackson Hudson. I mean, he's been a kid that's just grown up through the program. The young man's averaging a double-double, 17 and 12 or around there. He's just become a kid that's really improved his game. This summer, we had a lot of games. Derek travels a lot for baseball, and Jackson had to kind of step up and fill that void when we played because we made sure that we played bigger schools all summer long, so we were ready to go. We had a couple starters graduate, and we didn't want there to be a lull when these guys step on the court in November. And he ran point guard for us. He ran post. He kind of did it all. And honestly, I think that was one of the biggest things that probably helped him is it just made him all around just fundamentally a little more sound. And more of a weapon, and he's done that. He's put up 30 in a game this year. I mean, he's he's really held his own. And so, the hope is we're going to get all these games rescheduled, and he'll get his 1,000 point towards the end of the season. So, we're going to do everything we can to make sure we get these games on schedule so that he has a chance to do that.
Jackson, how are you today?
Good.
What do you do when you're out of school for weather? Do you sleep in? What do you got going on? Make scrambled eggs or what?
I don't do much. I mean, I go coyote hunting sometimes, and I mean, I don't really sit around too much.
Well, tell us a little bit about what you feel like your role is and your responsibilities on the team.
I think rebounding is a big key for my game. I put up a lot of rebounds and second chance points for us on offense.
And Coach talked about playing the guard position as opposed to playing the center position. Talk about that and the fact that if you can play with your back to the basket, you've got an advantage over a guy that maybe you can run down in there from the post. Do you like playing with your back to the basket, or would you rather face the basket with the ball?
I like playing with my back to the basket. I really like the center position,
And Jackson, same question I asked Allie coming into the season. Were there games on your schedule that you kind of put that mental check mark by and say, hey, I'm looking forward to playing this? And some of them may not have happened yet, but have there been games that you're really kind of looking forward to?
Yeah, I looked forward to the St. Elizabeth game quite a bit. I really wanted to beat them because, they went to state last year and we didn't get to do that.
And that was a game. When was that? When did you play that game?
We played on a Saturday at MACC a couple weeks ago.
Okay, yeah. It was the 30th. Yeah, 161, 67, 61. Looking back, over your high school career, are there games that maybe stand out to you as games you're not going to forget?
I mean, that freshman year run, I didn't play then, but I really liked watching it and going through those wins.
Very good. Well, hey, Jackson, congratulations on a tremendous season up to this point. Good luck as you go on.
Thank you.
And Coach, now you've got Derek there on the other side of you, and he's had some pretty outstanding accolades, put on him. Tell us a little bit about Derek and what he means to the team.
Well, when you look at Derek, I mean, he's kind of broken down all the barriers that we have as far as Higbee basketball's, involved. He's already the all-time leading scorer, and that happened midway through last season. It was just announced yesterday he's a McDonald's All-American nominee, All-Stater. I mean, he's one of the best kids in the area, regardless of class size. And I think when you've got a kid like that, it makes the program better. And I think it's a trickle effect. I think the fact that these young kids have been able to watch him over the years is going to make our program stronger in the years ahead because kids realize that, hard work pays off. And that's kind of where Derek starts and ends is hard work. I mean, there's nothing that can stand in his way to be successful. And that's just a mindset thing. And you can't teach kids to have that. And if you could, you just put a whole bunch of banners on the wall because he just has a mindset that there's always a way to win. It's just a matter of, can we get there? And so I think when you just have that mindset, it just makes your program better and makes the kids around you believe. And really, I've said it for years, it's like having a coach on the floor. The young man can pretty much control the game in all aspects. And when you have a kid like that, it's pretty special to watch.
Very good. Derek, how are you, sir?
Good.
First off, on behalf of Chevrolet and the Missouri State Highway Patrol, congratulations for being named an Athlete of the Week. And Derek, these are not things that I vote on. So this was from people from around the state, but the fact that what you've done is going noticed, or not going unnoticed, I guess I should say, is a tremendous accomplishment for you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Derek, talk about, Coach talks about that mindset. Can you go back and maybe point at where that comes from? I mean, who have kind of influenced you in your life, whether it be coaches, whether it be, older siblings or parents, or maybe it's just inherent. What has influenced you?
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, I've been playing basketball and baseball for a long time. I played for a basketball team when I was younger that they almost taught that kind of the way to think right there. At the time, we weren't the most talented athletically, but we won by the way we thought and the way we worked.
And Derek, going back to maybe your 7th, 8th grade year, maybe even your freshman year, and now you're a senior. What part of your game do you feel like has really matured the most? Maybe it's ball handling, maybe it's the mental part of the game, maybe it's just your size, or maybe it's shooting. Where do you feel like you've gotten the most maturity with regards to your game?
Yeah, I'd say as I've gotten older, I've definitely grown a lot. Just scoring, just putting the ball in the basket from every level of the court, from inside to outside. When I was younger, I wasn't a great scorer. I was good at getting to the basket, but I always seemed to have trouble putting it in. But as I've gotten older, I've kind of figured that out.
What do you do to get prepared for a game?
Oh, usually in the afternoon, I come in and shoot for about 30 minutes to an hour. And then I like to go home, take a shower, and then come back and start getting ready.
Were there teams or games on your schedule this year that you were looking forward to?
Yeah, I'd say there was a couple that, the Minden tournament in Brunswick kind of hurts that one. We were looking forward to that one. We'll get them a couple more times. You always look forward to playing them. Saint was another big one. I can't really think of any others.
That's okay. Whoever you're playing next, that's fine.
Yeah.
What plans, if any, do you have for next year?
I'm planning on playing baseball at the University of Arkansas Tech.
Okay, well, congratulations. What led to that decision?
I've always enjoyed baseball. I thought I was a little more talented at that. And that's just what I've always wanted to do, was play baseball at the next level.
Well, once again, on behalf of Chevrolet and the Missouri State Highway Patrol, congratulations for being named an Athlete of the Week.
Thank you.
And Coach, again, I greatly appreciate you setting this up. And I know it's kind of back and forth. I know the weather has wreaked havoc on some folks, and I've had coaches say, "I've got to take my wife to the doctor. Or can we do it?" I'm okay. We're pretty flexible here at the Missouri Sports Network, so don't worry about it. And I actually had one coach had to pick his dog up from pet grooming, so we worked around that as well. So but I appreciate it. Allie and Jackson, Derek, thank you for being a part of the show.
Thank you.
You're watching and listening to the Missouri Sports Network at MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. And as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe.